Hello there everybody and welcome back to Tree of Tranquility. Today is the day that we send our daughter over the rainbow and we do the whole New Game Plus thing using our Journey Rucksack. You can see here that I have not used it. The day after we had done the video of obtaining the rucksack, I tried to give it to my daughter and I thought it was going to work right away, but Chase actually intervened. I tried to give her the rucksack and he just said no, it's too soon and we're not sending our daughter over the rainbow, and that was kind of the end of that. And I thought, okay, that's a little bit unusual. And my thought at the time was that it was because my daughter's not very old. I haven't even had her as a fully grown child for a month. So I thought, well, maybe the game wants me to wait a little while to be able to give her the rucksack. So I played, a little bit of time, and time had passed, and eventually I got a cutscene where I was able to give my child the rucksack, and I'm probably gonna upload that cutscene as its own separate video, just because I wasn't prepared for it at the time. It kind of come out of nowhere. So there's actually two different ways for you to give your child the rucksack. You can wait for that cutscene to pop up, and at the end of the cutscene you'll be able to decide whether or not you want to give your child the Journey Rucksack. If you do, she'll automatically, or he will be automatically sent, and you'll go through and you'll continue your game on as your child in a new save. Or if you want to keep playing, then you can do what I did and say, no, I don't want to give my child the rucksack. And at that point, you continue playing on as your character, and you can give them the rucksack at any given time, which is why it's still here in my inventory. So I will definitely upload the scenes of Chase saying no. First of all, I'll upload that separately, and I'll also upload the alternate Journey Rucksack cutscene as well, so keep your eyes out for those. But for the time being, we're just going to go ahead and present our daughter with the rucksack, and this time she should take it. So now you'll be given the option, and as soon as you give your child the rucksack, it's kind of the point of no return. A new story will start with your child. Your game will be taken over. So they're just making sure that you absolutely want to do it. So when you're sure, you go ahead and give them the rucksack. Nick, to start Zelda on their journey. With the power of the harvest sprites. And with your own power. Your child's future will be full of happiness and tranquility. Zelda! Hey, I came to see you off. You're Nick's kid, so I'm sure you'll be fine. So we've got a little bit of a town send-off here. We've got some people rooting for her as she takes off on the boat. Stay well. Take care of yourself, okay? Oh, you're really leaving. I'm going to miss you. I promise I'll come visit you. Don't you forget about me. Aw, Chloe looks so sad. Last call for all passengers. The ship's about to set sail. Take care, stay well. I'll be sure to write you. Mama, Papa, I have something I've always wanted to tell you, but I couldn't. I love you, Mama and Papa, so very much. Please take care. And now you can see the journey pretty much starts all over again. We can see our child heading over to the island that needs their help. And that's pretty much it. So it's a very short cutscene. And I'm not actually going to save my game and continue on as my child, just because there's still some things I'd like to do on my own personal file. You get 3 save slots for this game, but I have another female file for hard events that I'm missing, and I also have a male file for that exact same reason, and I have not quite finished up with those yet. So I, at the moment, cannot afford to save over any of my slots, but even if I were to save over my slot and show you guys what there was, there really isn't a lot that changes. So I'm just going to go ahead and run through the few things that do change while the credits roll here. So when your child starts over, you will be playing as them, essentially. So if you had a female child, you will start as a female, but if you had a male child, you'll actually start as a male. And so that might give you an opportunity to change the gender that you played on, depending on what gender you started with. And of course, the story will restart, all of your items will be gone. The only things that you actually inherit are your money. So you'll have all of the money that you currently have carried over to the new game. You will also carry over all of your makers, which is a little bit of an odd thing to actually carry over. It's kind of random. You'll have your makers, and you'll also have all of your tool skills set as a default to level 3. But aside from that, you don't really have anything carry over. You may or may not keep your tools. I haven't looked into that yet, but you lose a lot more than you actually keep when you start over. So it's best to sell everything that you're not going to keep before you start a new game. Like, you won't keep your animals or anything like that. Any kind of items you have left over that you might be able to sell, I would definitely recommend selling those to get as much money as you can, just because money is one of the only thing that carries over. All your friendship levels, all your story progress, all of that stuff is completely gone. So when you look at all the things that change and the amount of progress that you lose, for me personally, it just really isn't worth restarting. There's not a whole lot of reason for me to do so, and so I'm not going to obviously save over my game and just start all over again. There may be a reason for me to do that in the future if I ever decide somewhere down the line that I'd like to replay the game. And then once the credits are finished rolling, we should get our opportunity to actually save. And then we can load that save and continue on as our child. So you'll be brought to the save screen. If you feel like you've made a mistake and you don't feel like continuing on as your child, then all you'd have to do is just simply not save. As long as you don't save, you'll continue on the way that it was when you woke up before you presented your child with the rucksack, and you can just continue on as normal. But if you do want to pretty much start the game over fresh, then you would go ahead and save to whatever slot it is that you wanted, and you would then load, and you would pretty much be reset, with very few exceptions of the things that were mentioned that actually managed to carry over. So I'm just going to go ahead and go back to the main title. And that's pretty much it for me, guys. I think the only other video that I might cover are mini games, because we skipped pretty much every single mini game throughout the course of the Let's Play because I was mostly just too lazy to bust out my nunchuck. But you can access all the mini games from the menu, so we might do a quick run through of all the different mini games that you can access throughout the various festivals in the game. But other than that, I feel like I have been pretty thorough in covering all of the Tree of Tranquility content, and the other things that I have to upload really are just events, which is a given. I do that when I do all Harvest Moon games, and hopefully that will be the end of the project, and one day, hopefully, I might be able to get around to playing this again and finishing up what it is that I have to finish, because I'd like to experiment a little bit with my other 2 slots. I'd like to marry different people and have different results with my children. And that was something that I had done in Animal Parade as well, was playing 2 or 3 different slots and having a look at how life was when you have different spouses and different children. So if you like that idea, that's something that I may continue on with. Now, that being said, it wouldn't be a frequent update. It would probably take a long time for me to do that, but there's always a possibility for that to happen. But in any case, this is kind of the final voiced full video that I'm going to do as of right now. So once again, I want to thank everybody so much for all of their support on this project. It was a fun one, but it's time for it to end. It's been going on for a very, very long time. I hope you guys understand. And until next time, I hope you guys continue to support me, and that I will see you in my next